Happy National Volunteers Week, everybody. My name is Miffy Hode. I'm a Development Officer in Cavan and Monaghan with Mental Health Ireland. And Mental Health Ireland is a national voluntary organisation with a network of mental health associations across the country, all led by volunteers. And our mission is to promote positive mental health and well-being and recovery throughout the communities and to individuals in Ireland. So the 5 ways to well-being is a model we promote and it's an evidence-based framework of actions for well-being. And the 5 ways to well-being are connect, be active, take notice, keep learning and give. And volunteering comes under the give heading. So when we volunteer in our communities, either formally or informally, we give of our time, we give of our expertise and knowledge, we give a listening ear, maybe support, kindness and compassion, and practical help, using our abilities and our strengths to help those who are possibly less able than us. Volunteering can also involve mentoring and offering guidance and support. Volunteers frequently give a lot of themselves freely to others, and that's what volunteering is about, that we give of ourselves without expecting any reward. The reward is in the giving. So while we know that this kind of giving does improve our well-being, volunteers must really remember that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So it's vital that we mind our own well-being too. So taking care of your own mental health and well-being means giving yourself some space and some time for things like relaxation and activities that recharge and revitalise you. So this might include some of the activities from the 5 ways. So connection, social connection is really vital to our well-being. So make sure that every day you have some kind of meaningful connection with other people. Even a chat on the phone with a good friend can be that connection. Keep active. So being active, being physically active as much as you can, whether that's going for your walk every day, joining a class. I know that now things are online a lot more than in the community, but there's still lots of activities online that include Pilates and yoga and activities that keep us moving. Gardening is a great thing as well. Anything that keeps us using our bodies is good. Taking notice is about being present to what's going on, being present to ourselves, being present to others. How do we feel? Being in touch with nature and the seasons and the weather and all of those things is all about taking notice. Keep learning is in there. So if we have an open mind and keep looking for new things and learning new skills and new tasks, we get a sense of achievement and accomplishment, and it makes us feel a lot better about life and ourselves. And then of course there's give. So that's our volunteering role, but it can equally be random acts of kindness, giving somebody we love a cup of tea and saying thank you for being in my life or for the things you do. It might be giving a parking ticket to somebody because there's still an hour left on it and you don't want it to go to waste, and you give it to somebody else coming into the car park. And the giving makes you feel good, the receiving makes the recipient feel good, and so on. So random acts of kindness are a form of giving that helps boost our well-being and that of others as well. Now, the other thing is that in that whole concept of, topping up our cup that we can't pour from if it's empty, it's okay to take a break from volunteering sometimes too. And I think that's something that's really important to remember, that not to be going on a guilt trip if you're feeling tired of volunteering, because some volunteering roles can be quite emotionally demanding, or there can be things going on in our own lives that require more of our attention. And you can return to your volunteering role when things settle down for you, when you have more time or things have improved for you. Now, if you are concerned about your own mental health and well-being, maybe you feel under pressure, maybe you feel more stressed than usual, there's a lot of support available. And the first thing you can do is talk to somebody you know and trust. And just by talking about it can really help to, you know that old saying, a problem shared is problem halved. And that's very often the case. Just by talking about things, it helps to get things in more perspective. And if maybe you're more concerned than that you need some more help as well as talking to a trusted friend, then contact your GP. And if you really feel you're in crisis, then maybe your out of hours doc on call. Now, there's lots of counselling services available locally too in the community. So your Family Resource Centre is a very good port of call to get support and counselling for all sorts of things like bereavement and loss, or just general counselling because you're struggling, and that's okay. There's also crisis counselling available through Pieta locally. So I'm going to give you some numbers in a minute. And then there's always Samaritans, and Samaritans are available 24/7, 365 days of the year to take calls from people, and their number is 116123. And you can also text for support by texting YMH, which is your mental health, to 50808. And you'll get a response there in terms of getting some additional support. So just to recap on those supports, your local GP or out of hours doctor, your local Family Resource Centre, Pieta, so the local crisis counselling service here in the Monaghan and Cavan area is through Grania Skelly, and the number there is 090 6462 111. And then Samaritans, as I said, is 116123, and you can text YMH, your mental health, to 50808. So those are supports that are available. And meanwhile, you have your fabulous volunteer centre in Monaghan, who also support their volunteers. So look, I hope you have a wonderful week celebrating all the achievements of all the volunteers around the county. And I'll leave it there, and mind yourselves.